I am so ready for fall. Like, I'm ready to bust out some winter boots. I'm ready to bust out the Uggs. Y'all don't even know. Like, it is too hot. There are too many bugs. I'm about tired of the sun. Like, oh, I'm so ready. Hey y'all. This video is kind of long overdue. I meant to do one last week and the week before, but school happened. You guys already know. I really don't have an excuse. But let's just jump straight into it. So basically, the title of this video is going to be called How to Move On and Grow Up. Because I think that we all need to just move on and grow up from many different situations. So it could be things such as friendships. You might not be friends with someone anymore and you might feel really bad about it. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, or let's say you cut your hair really short and now you are kind of sad because you miss the fact that you used to have long hair. Or Romeo doesn't text you as much as you would like him to. Or your favorite TV show on Netflix. Your favorite TV show on Netflix. You just finished the last episode. It's done. There aren't any more. And it's either one of those shows where it's like already recorded and the show's like been gone for like years, or it's one of those shows where you gotta wait for part 2 to come out of The Get Down. Like, alright. Anyways, I'm gonna help you cope with that kind of stuff. So let's go. Okay, so there are 5 major like steps, or I guess steps or stages that people go through when they suffer losses. And a lot of times this can be connected to like the death of a loved one, but I feel like this can also easily be applied to many things that you hold close to you when it's not necessarily like death. I'm not saying that it is as traumatic of an experience for you that your favorite show of Netflix went off. It's not as traumatic as someone actually losing someone, but I mean, it just happened. So I feel like, babe. Anyways, the 5 stages are, I'm sorry, anger, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Those are the 5 stages, no more, no less. I mean, some could be longer than the other, but those are basically it, according to Google. This actually brings me to my first stage, which is denial. And so basically in denial, you're just in denial. Honestly, you really can't believe what has happened. So just applying, I think this can easily be applied to, I guess, the loss of a friendship that you might have thought you had. You just kind of find it hard to believe that this person doesn't talk to you anymore, or you find it hard to believe that, I don't know, the friendship is over. It's just kind of like, whoa. So you really just can't believe that you aren't friends, and you kind of just refuse to accept the fact that what has happened to you has really happened. And so you're really just, yeah, you're lying to yourself. I can never get straight to the point, and I apologize for that, but that was denial. So now we're at part 2, which is anger. And so basically you're angry. And I think this can also be very different for different people, because a lot of times people might be mad at the world, or they might be mad at that person. So like, let's say friendships or Romeo, like relationships, you might be mad because you might be mad at Romeo because he don't text you back the way you think he's going to. Or flip the switch, you could also be mad at yourself. And a lot of times, I don't know, it might be half and half. So it might be maybe just not even necessarily you're angry at anyone else, you're just mad that something like this has happened, and you take your anger out on other people. So technically you're not really angry at them, you're just mad. You're just mad, just a hothead. But yeah. But then also, like I said, you can also be mad at yourself, and a lot of times you can blame yourself for that. Which brings me into my next stage, which is bargaining. And basically, I think a lot of times this could be a transfer, so this could like come from the anger. So in the example that maybe you're angry at yourself for what has happened, you could actually bargain, and you start to think things like, well, maybe if I had done this, or maybe if I had done that, or this had happened, or that had to happen, or I did this differently, then maybe this would have never happened. So friendship, maybe if I contacted my friend more, then maybe we would still be friends. Or Romeo, maybe if I wasn't as crazy as, you know, I was, maybe we would still be texting. Or Netflix, maybe if I hadn't have binge watched The Get Down 3 days, then I would still be watching it right now. Or maybe if I hadn't have cut my hair so short, I wouldn't be so sad that my hair is short. So stuff like that. And you really put it on yourself, and it's not a good thing, because ultimately, in most situations, minus maybe Netflix, it's not really your fault. But it can also, just putting all that on to yourself, it can push you into the next stage, which is sometimes, I mean, it's not as dramatic for others, but it could be depression. Okay, so that's the next stage. And I think honestly, when I got to this, I thought that it's always really discouraging to lose something that you find yourself growing really close to. And I think depression is kind of like, you just know that it's happened, but you really don't want it to. I mean, this could be like be moved on from the 5 stages of a loss, but I think you just, I don't know, I think it's a mixture of all of it. Like, you're no longer angry, you just might be still mad at yourself, and you still might be in some denial a little bit. And I think it's, I don't know, it feels really bad. And honestly, personally for me, I think, well, I mean, I don't find myself getting depressed lately or anything, but a lot of times, especially this year, I found myself looking back on past situations that I've been in and that haven't ended exactly the way that I wanted them to end. And a lot of times, I mean, I'm just the type of person who sits in a room and thinks about stuff, so it could just be that. But like, I always like replay the scenario and replay what it could have been and what it would have been, what it should have been, but it's not. So I think it's just, it wastes a lot of time and effort. And I think for the most part, now just me looking back on the fact that I thought so much about things that are never gonna happen again, and that what in the world am I saying? Okay, so seeing now, looking at myself now, even at the beginning of, say, this month, on how I've looked back at situations that I was in, and how I spent so much time, you know, thinking about what it could have been, should have been, would have been. I think I wasted a lot of my time and my thought, especially my thought. Like, don't waste your thought or invest your thought into things that, especially if it's a situation that involves another person that they're not like putting so much effort into. I really don't know what I just said, but I think that made some sense. So honestly, depression can put you in your feelings a little bit. Okay, I was rambling a lot, but I know what I'm talking about when I get to this final stage, which is acceptance. Okay, and honestly, I personally feel like acceptance is when you finally develop that it is what it is mentality. And I think a lot of people think that's a negative thing to do, to just have that attitude about certain things, because I think, well, it depends on the situation, but ultimately I feel like it really allows yourself to be honest with you and others. It's just an honest way to look at life. It just is what it is, like you're going with the flow. And I mean, I think it's really liberating once you accept what has happened. And to be honest, you know, I can't really be getting on everybody about just moving on, because I don't really move on as well. But I think it's a growing thing. Okay, that didn't make any sense. But let's apply acceptance to some of our examples that we had in the beginning of the video. So let's say you lost that friend. Well, just think about all of the wonderful friends that you currently have who love you for who you are and who hopefully don't, you know, leave you like your other friends did. Alright, you cut your hair. Well, you could always dye it an alternate color, you know, switch it up. I dyed my hair previously. I don't know if you can notice. I tried to like sit in front of a light so you could see. I don't think you can, but yeah, dye your hair. Romeo, he's not texting you back like you thought he was, or he just doesn't like you the way that you think he might have. Girl, find you a little bow wow and keep it pushing, okay? If your favorite show is over, then you can always watch it again. which I think that might take you a little bit back to your, I don't know, but it's good. I think that's the end of the video. I really just wanted to put one out, to be very honest, because I'm slacking off already, and it's y'all really don't understand how hard it is to like commit to making a video once a week. Y'all really don't know. Like, it's hard right now to make this video, because then after you make the video, you have to edit it, then you got to put it on YouTube, then you gotta wait at least, you know, possibly 24 hours depending on how long the video is. And then once the video is out and you already know that you don't have a lot of subscribers, you have to promote your video. And I mean, not everyone uses Instagram anymore, but I promote it on there, and not everyone sees every single tweet on their timeline, it's hard, y'all. It's really hard to ask someone to dedicate 10 minutes of their lives to something that, you know, they'll never get those 10 minutes back for. So I'm really sorry, you know, that I'm not as consistent for those who watch my videos. But I appreciate y'all who do, because it really makes me feel good about myself. Yeah. Oh, and my hair's wet. So if you saw like white pieces, that's, I think, my conditioner. I really did try to dry it. Like, I swear to you, I tried to dry it. I'm sorry. So I think that's the end of the video. I'm going to try to make another video next week, but I really don't know, because we have this long behind marching band camp on Saturday. Like, yesterday was my last Saturday just to myself for a long time. So I might make one like I did on a Sunday, but it really just depends, because y'all, teachers be acting like they the only class teaching. Alright, it's time for me to go, but I'll see y'all later.